Hey everyone, guess who's back? It's the commish. Back here with another Week One preview now here for the 2020 season. Everyone's starting from a clean slate. Everybody thinks they can win the championship. It all begins now. First game there you saw, Ellie Island, Templars. Two of the worst teams, I think, clashing here in a battle of the duds, in my opinion. Lifetime Templars 1-0. Week 5 2019 blowout. Definitely Robert has the advantage at running back. Ellie the definite advantage at wide receiver. I think Ellie's depth roles, though, in RWT are much better. And I have to wonder if Kenyon Drake is fully healthy. I mean, he was just in a walking boot. You can't just be okay. So I'm going Ellie here. Ellie wins this one. And Robert Stone starts 0-1. Next up, two legends in the LFC, Deuce Bombers, True North. Both have the name on the plaque, and they faced head-to-head here. Deuce is 2-1 lifetime versus Chris. Beat him in the semifinals in 2017 and later on won the title. In this one, thing that we'll be watching, both have quarterbacks playing each other, so it's kind of cool when that happens. It's Kansas City, Green Bay, it's Minnesota, Green Bay. It's Cousins versus Rogers, and I think Cousins and Deuce win in this one and take a 1-0 lead. Next up, it's myself versus Joshua, Life's a Mitch. Guy won the red and white division. He's not even Canadian. It's a disgrace, but it is what it is, and it was a rivalry from last year, and looking forward to a good one here. I think I'm getting Joshua at just the right time. Injuries to Swift, Montgomery, Jeffrey are real, and really comes down to, can my running backs beat his RWT and IDP advantage that he has over me? We're 2-2 lifetime versus each other, with a lot of those games coming last year. Obviously, he won the big one for the division in Flex Week 13, and then he also won later on in the consolation that year. I originally had Josh winning when I put our team previews together. Change alert, I'm changing it to myself winning. I think that Joshua's injuries to the running back will be too much to overcome. Next up, divisional matchup. We get into the divisional games. We got Stan and BC Lions taking on Brian in the 12th man. These times, two teams have never met. It's a first meeting. Brian definitely has the edge at running back. He will over a lot of teams this season. The other question here is Sanders healthy, though, for him? We'll find out, obviously, on Sunday. The other thing I found, all those picks for Stan, he's come out publicly, said he's a seller already. I think he realized that taking the Grace was a bad idea. Give him the smarts of intelligence for that, though, for sure. I think the big game's going to come from Danny Dimes for Stan in this one when Pittsburgh and the Giants play Monday night. And I got Stan winning. Next up, it's Norman Canadian guy versus Adrian and the Age Crew. Big one here, obviously, division game. Really, it comes down to veterans and Mahomes, though. And I think those two guys are good enough to lead Norm to a W. And for Adrian, obviously, Fournette, what role is he going to have? We're not sure. So definitely going Norm winning this one here, week 1. Next up, another great divisional game. Storm, Krista, taking on Danny and Billsy Bobs. When I look at this, Danny's 2-1. Lifetime versus Krista. Danny's had a tough go, but he's 2-1 lifetime versus Krista. Lots of things I'm looking here, though. When I was picking a winner, I look at Danny's lineup. His lineup's way better all around. I think Watson's going to have a big game Thursday night. And Eckler and Kamara are on his team as well. No contest here. I think Danny wins easily. Next up, Luke and Too Good for a Name taking on Doosan and Subotica Spartans. Too good for name 1-0 versus Doosan last year when they met. Your question here, Damian Harris, he's out, IR. But I think Subotica Spartans has the depth there to replace. He had some early on draft picks this year. And, the only way I see Luke winning this one is if TB12 has a huge game and it's a shootout against New Orleans with Breeze. But I have Doosan beating Luke in this one. Next up, another great matchup. Huge rivalry last year. Brandon, Architect, Sean Fallen Misfits. 2-2 lifetime these guys are. This is the 5th meeting. And I think this is going to be a thriller. And, last year these guys met twice. And one result was 0.85 points difference. And I think this is just a really good rivalry. But here's what I think is going to happen in this one. I think Sean's rookies are going to let him down. Edward Slayer might have a big game. But I think the other rookies will take some time to produce. And I think Zeke, the trade, he's going to have a huge game in the debut in the new stadium in LA. And I think the Architect's going to take this one home. Next up, Milan in the 6, Lucas and Green Lightning. I mean, the game before that, this one, and this game easily could have been game of the week. These guys, 3-3 lifetime versus each other. Big history. Winner here takes the lead in the lifetime series. For essentially Lucas, the tight end and the RWT advantage, I think is going to beat out Milan's running back advantage in this one, week 1. And I think Milan's rookies still need to find their feet before they fully produce for him. And I think that's what's going to make the difference for Lucas this year. And one of Milan's predicted 2 losses happen here in week 1 versus Lucas. And then last up, the game of the week. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys might not all agree with it, but it is a rematch of last year's championship. And I think is worthy to be recognized for game of the week here, week 1 at least. Even with all those great matchups. It's Susan fighting Geese taking on Eric and Swahino. Maybe the beginning of a rivalry here. Geese 2-1 lifetime versus Swahino. Of course, one of those games, and the most important win was beating Eric handily last year by 96.66 points in the final. It was a joke, and even Lamar couldn't save Eric. What it comes down to here for Swahino, I mean, you got Henderson, there's a problem. Mike Williams. Obviously, the shoulder. D.D. Westbrook. What role does he have left? And, for Suze, yeah, she traded Zeke. There's no doubt about that. But maybe she can get some production out of Divina Zigbo. I heard Brian Hills had a good camp. She's got Chris Thompson there. And I think because of that, I think Swahino's probably had the worst off season of any team. I'm going Susan fighting Geese to win. And as always, guys, vote on the polls, please. Vote on the game of the week, who you think will win. And looking forward to seeing all your votes and seeing all the results for week 1. Have a good one.